patience is probably one of the most unnatural fruit of the Spirit in anybody's lives. I mean, everyone I talk to, patience is the hardest thing. It's the hardest thing to generate in your life through your flesh. And thank God, because that requires that you rely on the Holy Spirit. So get over feeling guilty that you're not patient, because that's just not our natural bent. We're not really built that way. And that's why we rely on God's Spirit to give that to us. Now, one of the most difficult things about patience is letting go of your desire to play God. Because that's really what your patience is, your impatience is doing. It's upset that your plans aren't going through the way you want them to. In other words, it's like you're a little God saying people ought to do this way, and it ought to come out like this. And when it doesn't, you've lost all patience because you had a plan. So if you're one of those people that think they have to be in control all the time, then you probably have a problem with patience, because you cannot be in control all the time. This idea that you can is so deceptive. It's self-deception, believing that you can be in control, because you are not God. Let me just take that off your shoulders right now. You don't have to be God. And aren't you happy about that? Because all that weight on your shoulders of thinking that you have to control everything around you, even yourself, oftentimes you feel like you're out of control. When those feelings of having to be in control all the time press down on you, what happens? More impatience and more out of control. So it's not the answer. The answer is to let go. So in those moments where you feel like you have to be in control of others, you have to voice what's wrong, maybe complain, point out, where you feel an urge to blow up, whatever it might be. Even in those moments of boredom, those moments when you're bored reveal your lack of patience. The boredom comes from the idea that this is not how I plan to spend my day, as if your plans are really the most important ones. But the person who believes that God is the most important one, who believes that he ought to be in control and that he's good at it, who believes that his happiness is more important than theirs, is the person that can find patience. Now, I know this sounds impossible. It sounds like something we can't do. And again, I say that's okay, because his Spirit can do it. And it can happen amazingly, painlessly, when you say, I am no longer in control. I no longer want to be God, and I no longer want to manage the situation. But I will trust that both good and bad, as it says in Lamentations 3:37, both good and bad come from him. And I want whatever came from him. And that means that my plans might not be his, and so I will accept his plans. And in that you find the patience that the Holy Spirit wants to give you. I hope you find patience today.